do I know who I am? Is there any way to realize the self and experience it? Yeah, there is a way. There's a way that the sages and the saints and the mystics of all of our religious traditions have given us. It's something that I think in the Indian spiritual tradition there's been even more of an emphasis on. Because there's such an emphasis on the presence of God in us, it's been much more a focus on know yourself and you will know God. Whereas some of the other traditions are so much more focused on God outside of us, that there isn't the same emphasis on knowing yourself. But in both cases, the practices are actually the same. So whether it's a major emphasis or a minor emphasis, whether it's in the traditional part or it's in the less traditional mystical part of the religion, the practices are all very similar. It's all about meditation. It's all about closing your eyes and going inward. Sometimes with prayer, sometimes with chanting, sometimes with introspection and inquiry, but always going within. Because I can tell you who you are. I can say you are divinity. I can say you are soul. I can say you are consciousness. The scriptures say it. And there's an unlimited number of books, commentaries on the scriptures that say it. So the enigma is not, in theory, who am I? You just have to open up any of these books and begin a study. Your soul, your divinity, your fullness, your wholeness, your consciousness, your love, whatever word we use. The enigma is, how do I live like that? How do I know that? Because reading it in a book doesn't actually change me very much, any more than reading a menu fills my stomach. You know, I mean, if you're hungry, and I say to you, well, we have, saag, and we have cauliflower and potatoes, and we have dal, and we have chapatis, it's going to sound very nice. It may inspire you to come over for dinner. It might make you salivate and take your mind off of something else and at least bring you in the right direction. But it's not going to fill your stomach. It's not going to actually put nutrients in your bloodstream. It's not going to change your blood sugar. It's not going to do anything to the body that is experiencing hunger. In the same way, when spiritually we're hungry, when spiritually we're thirsty, when there's an emptiness in the heart rather than the stomach. Yes, reading books, hearing talks, knowing it helps. It brings us the spiritual equivalent of salivating, so that at least it keeps us from saying, oh, I'm just going to go to the movies, or oh, I'm just going to do this. At least now you want it even more. It's closer. You can almost taste it. But you still have to do the work, just like you actually still have to eat and swallow the food. So the only way to do that is to go within. And there's a whole variety, of course, of different techniques. There's none that are more right than others. Some work for some people, some work for other people. But they're all about going within. Because interestingly and beautifully, the minute that we're able to shut ourselves from who we're not and from the outer world, a lot of the truth of who we are automatically appears. It's not like a treasure hunt where you literally have to, figure out clues and move from point A to point B and go here and run and jump. And we actually just have to remove that which is not self. And that which is left is. And so in many cases, simply the act of closing your eyes, turning inward with intention. Yes, your mind will wander. You'll bring it back. It will wander again. You'll bring it back again. It'll keep wandering. You'll keep bringing it back. Eventually it'll wander less frequently. Eventually you'll be able to bring it back quicker. It'll take you less time to realize it has wandered. But simply, even in the beginning, simply going within with intention clears away a lot of that which is not self. So at least start there. You can bring your attention to your breath. You can watch your breath. It's very simple. You can do it anywhere. You don't need special teachings. You can chant very simple mantras if you find that your mind wanders way too much, that even the breath isn't enough to keep it occupied. You could chant So Hum, which literally means I am that, the capital T that, the supreme, the universal that. I am that to which I pray. I am that upon which I meditate. I am that. I'm not separate over here. I am the drop of the ocean. I am the wave of the ocean. I am that. You could chant Om. It's a different one. It doesn't really matter. If there's a particular name of the divine that you love that appeals to you, you could chant that. You could chant, I am divine. Really. The whole point is to bring the awareness inside. Yes, the Vedic mantras have special power. But also simply going within to the self has special power. There's plenty of mystics in non-Vedic traditions who connected with God in a variety of different languages. God doesn't seem to be partial. And so if your native tongue touches you more and is more meaningful for you, use that. I am divine. I am consciousness. It's all divine. Whatever. Chant something simple. I mean, you shouldn't have to be working your brain to remember the words. Something simple. Connect with the breath. Chant the mantra. And just keep looking in and asking yourself, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Keep asking yourself that. And it takes you in. And it removes that which you're not.